Thomas Braidwood Wilson. Thomas Braidwood Wilson FRGS, bapt. April 29, 1792, November 11, 1843, was an Australian surgeon and explorer. He was baptised in Kirknewton, West Lothian, Scotland, the son of James and Catherine Boak. Sea voyages. Wilson studied at Edinburgh University and became a doctor of medicine. He joined the Royal Navy in 1815 and made 9 voyages to Australia as a surgeon superintendent on convict ships. The times were very dangerous and many of the sea voyages were eventful. In 1829 he travelled on the return journey of the Governor Ready to Australia when it was shipwrecked in the Torres Strait. Wilson and some of the crew rowed 1,000 miles, 1,609 kilometers, to Timor. Aboard the ship, John Wilson returned in 1831 to Hobart Town with a hive of bees that had survived the trip to Australia, and many European plants. The bees were considered to be the first European bees brought to the continent. Wilson was presented with an engraved snuff box with the inscription praising him for introducing to the colony some of the most valuable plants and animals, but especially the honeybee, which are now in a manner become indigenous to it. Exploration. Wilson sailed in the ship Governor Phillip to the Swan River in Western Australia with Captain Calais Barker. From there he explored the region inland from King George Sound. Captain Barker was the commandant at King George Sound and provided the provisions for the expedition. Wilson named the hill overlooking the future township of Mount Barker in his honor. During these expeditions Wilson collected seeds and species to bring back to his friend, Alan Cunningham at the Sydney Botanical Gardens. A species of Grevillea from Western Australia, Grevillea wilsoni, was named after him. Wilson's Inlet in Western Australia is also named after him. King George Sound is now home to the thriving town of Albany. In 1833 Wilson was granted a fellowship of the Royal Geographical Society. Journal and travel writing. Wilson wrote of his travel experiences in Narrative of a Voyage Round the World, London, 1835, out of copyright and downloadable in full. The title page of the book describes the contents as. In the preface Wilson stated that his aim was to inform those interested in Australian affairs and provide amusement to the general public. And states further that the information in the appendix was based on his supervision of nearly 2,000 prisoners, without having met with any difficulty or disturbance worth mentioning. Pastoral Life. Wilson married Jane Thompson of Durham, England, in 1826 at St. Oswald's in Durham. In 1836 he emigrated with his wife, daughter Mary Braidwood Wilson, born 1827, and son James Braidwood Wilson, born 1833, to Australia. Wilson's first land grants were in the Oatlands area of Tasmania, however he exchanged these for grants in the Braidwood district before settling there in 1835. Wilson's grants in Braidwood amounted to 5,000 acres, 2,024 hectares, for in recognition of his exploration, to which he added another 4,000 plus acres of purchased and leased land. The family property was known as Braidwood Farm, since changed to Mona. When the township was formed it took the name of Braidwood in his honor because Wilson relinquished an area from the western end of his property to be used as the site for the new town. He became a pastoralist and was noted for the good management of his land. He also served as a magistrate, and funded the building on the courthouse in Braidwood. He was on many local committees and took an active interest in district affairs. At Wilson's death his daughter, Mary Braidwood Wilson, was 16. She kept a diary that covered her life after her father's death, and during her marriage to Stuart Marchbanks Mole. The diary is now in the National Library of Australia and is seen as a clear and detailed record of early expatriate life in Australia. Death and grave site. Wilson's third child, Thomas Braidwood, died at the age of 5 months on September 23, 1837, and Wilson built a vault at the top of a hill just north of the town for his burial. His wife died not long after on January 29, 1838, and was also buried in the vault. The location, 35 degrees 26 2.31 S 149 degrees 4844.8 E, 35.433975 degrees south 149.812444 degrees east, minus 35.433975 149.812444, boasts a beautiful view over the town of Braidwood, and a large pine tree has been grown adjacent to the vault. During the drought and depression of the early 1840s Wilson was declared bankrupt, and on November 11, 1843 it is thought that he probably committed suicide. He was buried with his wife and child in the vault. The gravesite fell into disrepair but was repaired and a path from the town added sometime after April 2006. The route to the site is unclear, mapped here, and the absence of a track indicates it is rarely visited. The public way was in general use during the late 19th century and until the early 2000s. Community projects were arranged to restore the gravesite in 1894 and in 1935, and the stiles were built with a community bicentennial grant in 1988. On change of ownership of the property on which the grave sits, access was closed off by the owner in about 2005 and it is now rarely used as the stiles have been deliberately broken or locked off. Strong community pride in the site has seen several attempts at rectifying this, and it is hoped that during Braidwood's 175 anniversary celebrations in 2014 the stiles can be restored and the path reopened. The route commences with the first stile, 35 degrees 2616 S149 degrees 4804 E, 35.437818 degrees south 149.801019 degrees east, minus 35.437818. 149.801019, at the corner of the King's Highway and Wallace Street at the north end of town and is a 1.3-kilometer walk. You must proceed from stile to stile as barbed wire fences block alternative routes. From the second wooden stile, in poor repair, 35 degrees 2613.75 S149 degrees 4817.26 E, 35.437158 degrees south 149.80479444 degrees east, minus 35.437158, 149.80479444, head to the northeast of the paddock to the third metal stile, 35 degrees 266.22 S149 degrees 4828.87 E, 35.43506111 degrees south 149.80801994 degrees east, minus 35.43506111, 149.80801994, and from there east to the fourth stile 35 degrees 264.36 S149 degrees 4836.88 E, 35.434544 degrees south 149.810244 degrees east, minus 35.434544, 149.810244. If the stile is locked, proceed north along the fence to the gate. From here the route is obvious. Fence to the gate.